Hey everyone! Okay, another video reading for this week. This time it's a guidance one. But before I go on to the reading, just a few updates. So the You, Them and Us video readings that were booked last week, so this is any bookings up until Friday, they have now all been completed. I've got a couple that are uploading as I'm recording this, so the links will be with you very shortly. I've got two more email readings, Divine Connection ones to get through, and then they'll be with you over the next couple of days, and one more in-depth video one again over the next couple of days. All the monthly offer readings have been done, so those links should already be with you. I think that's it. And then the You, Them and Us video readings that were booked from Saturday onwards, I had quite a few bookings come through since Monday. I'm going to be starting them today, and then I'm hoping by Tuesday latest. I mean, I prefer earlier, but Tuesday latest, let's just say. All those links will be with you as well. Another update, just so you guys are aware, when it comes to video readings, I'm going to restock the You, Them and Us, but they're the only ones I'm going to be restocking at the moment. And that will actually be my last restock of video readings for this year. From the 15th, I think it is, from the 15th of December, I am going to be taking time off up until New Year. So I'll still be posting on my Insta page, I'll still be posting here on YouTube. I will be offering the odd Insta mini reading, but anything like video readings, in-depth readings, emailed ones are all going to be put out of stock. So literally, I mean, the in-depth ones are already out of stock, and I'm not going to restock that till the new year. The email ones, the in-depth ones, again, already out of stock, not going to restock till the new year. So the only ones that are going to be restocked at the moment are the You, Them and Us video readings, with it being my last restock. If you want me to look at anything specific when it comes to booking that, just drop me a note in the booking notes, and I'm happy to offer that in the video reading. And I think that's it. Yeah, the only people who are going to continue to receive video readings from me will be the people who are booked in the 4-week package. So you'll continue to receive readings and other content up until Christmas week. So you guys are still kind of going to receive that. It's just everything else, just because I've decided to take some time off and just kind of wrap up the rest of the year, taking a bit of a backseat and a break. I've got some studying and training I need to finish, all linked to some wonderful stuff that I'll be bringing out next year for all you guys, more towards maybe springtime. Yeah, right, so I'm going to crack on with the reading. I actually, my intention was to do guidance around relationships, but at the same time I wanted my guides to lead sort of what the reading today should be about. And you know, the very first card that came out was relationships. So my lovely, what I was getting through you know, for this spread that came out, what I was getting through is the relationship that you share with someone at the moment. So this doesn't necessarily mean someone that you are in a relationship with. This is someone you may desire a relationship with. This, I also feel, you know, for some of you will be related to your person being in a relationship with someone else. But the relationship, connection, journey you share with someone romantically, or someone you want to be involved with romantically, it's having quite a big impact on your self-esteem. It's affected your confidence quite a lot. For those of you whose person is in another relationship, I feel like that there's this kind of idea you've got in your head that maybe the other person might be better than you. Maybe if you presented differently, they would have chose you. So it's something that's really affected your kind of self-worth and self-confidence. And for those of you who are desiring a connection with someone, you know, even if, you know, they're not involved with someone else, but there is nothing happening between the both of you. I feel because of the lack of any kind of clarity or movement that is sort of not coming towards you, it has actually knocked your confidence, and I feel it's affected your self-esteem for similar reasons. You've got the same thoughts around maybe you're not good enough, maybe they don't want to come towards you, that a lot of the hurt and I'm being told disappointment that you're feeling around the current state of this connection is having quite a big impact on your confidence, on your self-worth, on your self-esteem. And I'm also getting, for some of you who are actually in a relationship, you share some kind of commitment, be it serious, be it sort of early days or casual. There is something that for some of you there might be a little bit of sort of unstable grounds at the moment. There might be, I'm getting kind of not meeting in the middle, so maybe there is sort of a difference of opinion on something. I feel like it might be raising some questions around trust. Again, it's something that is affecting your sort of self-esteem and your confidence as well, and what's actually contributing to, you know, your confidence being knocked a bit is because, you know, we've got the worry card. So it is actually connected to the thoughts that are, I'm getting the word spiraling. So the thoughts that are spiraling a little bit out of control, I feel, for some of you in your mind. So there's a lot of worry, and this worry is connected to, a lot of it is connected to the unknown. For whatever group you fall into, it's connected to the unknown. It's actually not knowing what's happening with your connection, and there's a lot of fear-based kind of thoughts and energy that are sort of going around inside you, and a lot of that, my loves, feels like it's coming from the thoughts. Some of these thoughts are you know, kind of in the back of your mind. So there's a lot of thoughts around all the things that could go wrong, all the kind of sadness, worries you've got. For those who, you know, might be with someone else, worries about kind of what's happening in that connection, whether it's something that's going to end or not going to end, where does that leave you? For those of you, similar kind of conversations, you know, if you're not seeing any movement, you know, even if this person is not involved with anyone, but if you're not seeing any movement, there's this worry in you that there's not going to be any movement. So a lot of this worry feels very connected to the headspace. So it feels connected to the thoughts you're having, you know, the kind of conversations you're having with yourself, what you're telling yourself could actually happen in this connection. So all of it seems to be connected to the unknown. There is a lot of conversations taking place in the mind about what is or isn't going to happen. And the thing is, what I'm kind of sensing is, even though, see, with the present moment, I feel like there is sadness, disappointment, upset, you know, even worry, but I feel like the fear is coming from what's going to happen or not going to happen. It's not kind of, the kind of way I'm getting it is, you know, today, what we're on Wednesday today, you know, Wednesday, it's not that you're worried about Wednesday, you're worried about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Does that make sense? You're worried about all the other days that are coming and whether there's something that's going to change or not. And so there's a lot of energy, investment, thoughts being put into the future. And that the worries that are coming up from the future is because you don't actually know what that looks like. You don't know what that involves. And then that is creating a bit of chaos in your energy, creating this energy of worry, which is coming from your thoughts about the future, creating I feel a lot more fear. So I think the fear is already present in you, but it's almost like amplifying that fear even more, because you're already feeling, you know, disappointed or sad about where the connection is right now. And then fear is kind of jumping on board and they're having a bit of a dance together and you're getting even more anxious. So it's amplified about, oh, okay, this is kind of where it is right now and I'm feeling really sad about it. So fear's like, all right, sad, I'm going to hold your hand and we're now going to sort of have a dance about the future and cause even more chaos. And so that's the kind of energy that's going on inside you. So You know, break free is the next card that came out. So what you're being guided to do, my lovelies, is to break free from this, you know, all this kind of worry, all the things that I'm getting through around what's happening around your headspace, more connected to the future and the unknown, is taking quite a big knock on your confidence. And this is not just about your confidence in the relationship and what's going to happen. That is what is almost instigating it, but it's affecting your confidence about yourself. It's kind of like it's affecting you in a way where you don't feel so positive or great about yourself. And that is actually coming from you not feeling so positive and great about the status of your connection, if that makes sense. So Spirit is asking you to break free of that. They're actually wanting you to try different things that will allow you to break free of this. So, you know, the main thing that's coming through for this is a lot of the worries attached to what's going on in the future, what is or isn't going to happen, whether that future's in the next 24 hours or, you know, going forward. And so you are actually being asked to bring yourself back to the present moment. Now, what I've just been reminded of is something that came through in my November package when I was working with, you know, all those amazing people through the 4-week guidance video, and there was a theme that occurred for every single one for 2 weeks in a row, and one of the themes that occurred was around acceptance. And what my guides were sharing, and they're reminding me because I feel it's very relevant here, what my guides were sharing is that one of the reasons there is this struggle around the unknown is because there is almost this avoidance and this fear around accepting the situation for what it is right now. Accepting it for what it is right now doesn't mean it's not going to change, but there was a need for you to be able to just accept the truth of the matter as it is right now. So if the truth of the matter is that you and your person are not in union today, there is no movement in it. There was this need for you to be able to put yourself in that moment, offer forgiveness to it, allow yourself to feel the feelings that come up from accepting that truth as it is today, because that then allows you to see what it is you need to work through, release, heal, and to be able to then work on breaking free of the things that are actually keeping you stuck. Spirit is saying to me there's great power in working on acceptance. When you're working on acceptance, what you're actually doing is you are working with the truth. Sometimes what can happen, my lovelies, and this might be a very difficult message for you to hear right now, so I am gonna suggest a grounding technique at the end actually, but sometimes what can happen, oh, it's gone from my head, hold on, oh, I hate it when that happens. I knew I shouldn't have interrupted, hold on. Oh, it's gone from my head. When it comes to me, I'll share it with you. Sorry, guys. This is why I should stop sort of throwing in my own stuff when I'm getting downloads, because then I lose it. All right, my love. So Spirit is wanting you to break free of the things that are keeping you stuck. And oh, I know what it was. So sometimes what can happen is when we are needing to accept the present moment, we are actually needing to accept the truth of the situation as well. Accepting the truth is something that can feel very difficult. It can feel quite triggering, but what accepting the truth actually does is it allows you to, it's almost this awareness develops in you, and it allows you to become aware of the things that you need to work through to be able to heal and release. Accepting the truth, when we are so focused on the future, we can find ourselves almost avoiding to accepting the truth of what today is about, what the state of the connection is today. And one of the reasons we avoid doing that is because there is a part of us that is refusing to accept the situation for what it is. And so one of the ways that you're able to really work on stepping in your power, really work on healing and releasing the situation for what it is today, is about you accepting the state of it and the truth of it. What that can do as well, my lovely, is it can bring up this kind of feeling in you where you're almost grieving, because when you accept, if you actually sat here right now and you accepted the truth of what your connection is right now. So I'm going to use myself as an example. So the truth of my connection right now is that, you know, my DM as far as he's concerned, this is not going to go anywhere. And this is actually something that is never going to develop into something more romantic. And I'm just, using myself as an example, just to share what the truth of my situation is. And so I have, almost two choices on how I'm going to work with that. I'm either going to refuse to accept that truth from what was presented to me. I'm going to refuse to accept that truth, and I'm going to remain very focused on actually trying to figure out, trying to manifest, worrying about what the future is going to bring, whether that is a shift, a change in the situation, whether this is something to do with karmic lessons, in which case, how long is that going to take, all the unknown parts of where there could potentially be a change is where I'm going to invest my energy. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept the truth that was presented to me, and I'm going to work through accepting that and allowing myself to feel the very difficult emotions that did come up in me around that, and allow myself to kind of grieve that. So then I allow myself to heal that, and then I allow myself to become free of that. Does that make sense? There's like these stages in a process that you would go through, and that's what Spirit is sharing with me. When it comes to working through, the worries that you might feel, and the effect it has on your confidence, but the worries that you might feel, it's not just about shifting your mindset, positive thoughts, positive energies, which is something that came out. That's almost stage 2, if you like. There's a stage before that that's important you don't skip. And the reason it's important you don't skip is because that is actually something that could be the deal breaker in you being in a place where you're breaking free of the energy that you're in that might be affecting your self-esteem and the worrying and, some of the struggles you're having, for example, on the unknown, so codependency. There's a need for you to be able to first release that and really allow yourself, give yourself permission to heal that before you move to a place where you are offering yourself, this kind of breaking free and feeling very kind of positive about the situation or about yourself, about your path, regardless of what the connection and the unknown is. So my loves, what Spirit is actually saying is that there is a need when you come to your relationships for you to focus on breaking yourself free. And the way you break yourself free, this is something that's affecting your confidence, is actually to pay attention to what is the worries that's coming up in you. And for you to also accept the situation for what it is, allow yourself to heal that. The truth that's presented to you, the truth is always powerful, my loves. No matter how challenging it is, the truth is always powerful. So whatever that truth is that's being presented, that's coming up in you, that you are accepting in the here and now today, for you to then allow yourself to heal that. Allow yourself to heal it in the way that works for you. There's no one size fits all. So, for some of you, it may be for you to, for example, do something like talking therapy and going for some professional therapeutic support. For some of you, it could be journaling. For some of you, it may be, energy clearing, energy healing. In all of that, there is this form of release and grieving taking place. Allow yourself to do that, but also make sure you introduce things like grounding techniques so you can continue to work on balancing your energy. And Spirit is saying to me, one of the reasons this is coming through is because there is a need for you to be able to clear cycles for the rest of this year. There are cycles that have been on repeat for most of this year, and I think for some of you since last year. So there's cycles that have been on repeat. So this could be, an ongoing sort of cycle of being quite attached to the outcome. There could be an ongoing cycle of being quite codependent, checking up on your person, for example. And all of those cycles are actually keeping you quite stuck. So they're blocking you from being able to break free. And you're almost being guided that, loves, it's time for you to actually take action, take step, make sure that you are the ones who are saying to yourself, I'm not going to be repeating this cycle anymore, and allow yourself to take the action you need need to be able to be free from it. So you're stepping, you know, this is almost like some guidance and prep for the new year, but you're stepping into the new year in a different energy. You're not repeating the same energy, the same thoughts, you know, having the same kind of feelings around your confidence that you've been having for most of this year or even last year. What you're also being guided to do, my lovelies, is actually start investing more time into things that actually make you feel good. So another guidance that came through, I can't remember where this came through, that I'm going to share with you guys. It was either a personal booking or the package. But what might be helpful for you guys to think about when you're exploring what is it that I need to do that will allow me to sort of engage in things that are more positive for me, that actually make me feel good about myself. What might be helpful is for you to reflect on what makes you feel happy and what doesn't make you feel happy. You're going to get your answers right there. And what makes you happy is what you will be investing more of your energy into. What is going to allow you to sort of embrace more of that positive energy. And what doesn't make you feel happy is what is actually showing you the things that you actually need to work through to release or heal. And it might even highlight to you what are the things that have been on repeat that are making you feel unhappy, but you've continued to kind of engage with. So that's one of the other things that you are being guided to do, and maybe that way of reflecting on it is something that's going to help you do it. Spirit is also saying, my lovelies, it is time for you to move on. And I actually feel like from this, my loves, it's time for you to move on from the version you were even a few months ago. You guys have all gone through a journey forever in the last, you know, not even in the last year or 2 years. You've all been going on this ongoing journey. There are things that are no longer serving you. There are things that are no longer needed in your path. There are things that actually at one point probably did make you happy, at one point probably did help you evolve, but are no longer serving you in that way. And it's time for you to move on from things that you have either been on repeat with, that you are continuing to do. There might be a certain routine that you're repeating. Again, this could be a certain thought or pattern that you're repeating when it comes to relationships. There are things that are playing out in your here and now that don't serve you, and they are actually contributing towards you struggling to move forward in life. You are someone who should always be evolving, learning, growing, releasing, healing, you know, moving forward. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to actually acknowledge that. It's time for you to actually take charge of that and start sort of again becoming aware and moving forward, evolving in the way that, you know, rightfully you should do. So my loves, I'm going to pull some extra messages for you guys, but the guidance that's come through today, it's quite clear that there is a need for you guys, you know, this connection, however, whatever the state of it is, whatever your situation is, you know, collectively, you might all be, you know, in a similar connection, but we all have our unique journey, right? In the connection as well. So however it does fit for you, you know, this connection is something that, you know, unfortunately has created some difficulties, challenges when it comes to your self-esteem, you feeling good about yourself. A lot of that is actually being led by, and almost it's feeding that kind of challenge around your self-esteem from the worry, from the overthinking, for the repeating thoughts. But again, the main message that came through today is a lot of that worry is about the unknown. So there's a need for you to work on it, you know. And, you know, my guides are repeating to me, because I think this is important, that, you know, just don't skip the stages. So, you know, there's no point in me saying to you today, actually, you need to surrender the unknown. What you need to do to be able to surrender the unknown is allow yourself to heal from what's actually happening right now. Then you can work on surrendering the unknown. Does that make sense? So again, it's about Spirit saying, just allow yourself, give yourself permission, as difficult as it might feel Work on what the present situation is. Whatever's coming up for you is showing you what you need to heal, work through. Explore what methods are going to help you to be able to work through that. That will help you to surrender the unknown. It's not as easy as, right, that's it, I'm going to surrender the unknown. Angels, please help me surrender the unknown. I'm not going to think about tomorrow. You've still got things going on in you that you need to allow yourself to heal and release. So work through that. Helps you to surrender the unknown. You know, start focusing on the things that make you feel happy. Introduce that as part of your journey as well when you're working through that. Allow yourself to be surrounded by those things that make you happy, because that helps with the positive energy. All those different things provides, you know, different steps that help you to get to a place where you're not on repeat, repeating cycles that are unhelpful for you, and you're not feeling so stuck in the connection as well, if that makes sense, my lovelies. Because let's face it, my loves, what is the biggest challenge? What is the biggest challenge that you feel over the connection? It is actually not knowing what's going to happen. You know, for those of you where your connection is not in union, that is your biggest challenge. Your biggest trigger is actually not knowing what's going to happen with the connection. So it's the unknown. So that is actually what you're being asked to work through releasing, again following some of those stages. For some of you, you might, you know, think actually there's another way, another stage that I feel I can work through that. That's fine, my loves, work with that. The main thing is that you are actually releasing what is presenting as your biggest challenge. Right, my lovelies. Oh, okay, I'm going to pull some additional messages for you when it comes to, oh god, these are flying out, when it comes to your connection. All right, my love, so I'm going to do a very quick reading for you guys when it comes to your connection, because I really don't want to take the focus off you and this being guidance, but I know a lot of you do find the readings quite helpful in being able to get some kind of understanding around kind of what's going on and how you're going to work with that situation. At the moment, your person doesn't feel safe in being stepping forward and offering you something in this connection. They I kind of feel like what they want to do, they want to take this, they don't want to be stupid in their approach. They want to be quite sensible with their approach. But it's almost like they're looking towards the connection, but they know that right now is not the right time to walk towards it. There are things that they have to do. There are things that they need to work on. But also there are things that they need to stabilize within their own life before they can come forward. So they are actually being quite sensible in a way around sort of how they're going to move forward with any kind of action that might be coming up in their thoughts on their intentions. But at the moment, it doesn't feel like in the here and now it's the right time. Their focus at the moment is their strength. They're trying to work on their own power, their own personal power. So even if there is a desire within them that actually I do have this intention, or I do have this desire, or I do want to be with this person, they don't feel they're strong enough at the moment to be able to take that step. And the reason they don't feel strong enough to be able to take that step is because it's almost like they're going through this journey where they need to be able to trust themselves. They need to create some more stability. So if anything, the word I'm getting from spirit is fair. They're trying to be fair to the connection by being fair to themselves and being fair to you, if that makes sense. I'm going to leave it there because what I don't want to do is go, you know, more in depth into a relationship reading where we've just had a whole, you know, reading on the things you need to focus on and releasing the unknown. But it does look like your person in a way is themselves focusing on the things that they need to work on for themselves to be able to be more stable and stronger. And that is the main guidance that came through for you as well. I'm also going to sort of just point out one thing, my loves, as well. One of the things that I think is really important to keep in mind when you are on this journey where you are trying to work through the blocks and the challenges that you feel towards your connection and break free of, you know, some patterns that might be repeating, such as codependency, and you decide you want to, you know, you're ready, you're in that place. You know, some of us, it takes us a while to get to that place, but you're in that place where, right, I actually now want to start breaking free of this. I want to heal through some of this. I want to release some of the attachment, or all of the attachment I have on the outcome. It's important that your intention to do that is because you're doing it for yourself. It's important that your intention to do that isn't because what you're trying to do is bringing union. And the reason I say that, my loves, is what you're actually not doing then is actually focusing on breaking yourself free, because your focus is still on the attachment to the outcome, if that makes sense. The only way you are able to heal the attachment to the outcome is if you're not healing it for the union. Does that make sense? If you're healing it because in your mind you feel that by you going through your own journey of releasing some of these blocks and challenges that you feel towards the connection, particularly the unknown, which was the main theme that came through today, then you're not actually doing it for the reasons to break free. So it's important that when you take that step to work through that, it is because you are deciding to step into your power, not because you are trying to encourage your person to step into their power. It doesn't actually work like that, my lovelies, and it's almost like this injustice you're doing to yourself and on your journey. So, my loves, I'm going to end this with a hold on, let me get my words out properly. I'm going to suggest that you, if you've listened to this reading and if it has triggered you, worried you, if it is challenging for you in any way, if it's pulling any kind of strings in you where you're feeling a bit off balance, then I'm going to suggest to you do a grounding technique. One of the things that I do that I actually find really helpful, so when I'm trying to ground myself, I do things like connecting with nature. I go walking. I find that really helpful. Being an empath as well, I find that really helpful in clearing my energy. With that said, sometimes when I feel triggers quite intensely, or when I'm going through a certain healing journey where, you know, I'm releasing, there's some kind of grieving process going on within me, one of the techniques that I find so helpful is me actually focusing on my feet. So what I do is, and that is you kind of focusing on the root chakra as well and grounding yourself. So what I do is, sometimes I do this in silence, sometimes I connect to some meditation music. And I allow myself to connect with that. And what I do is I bring my focus back. I've got my eyes closed, but I'm bringing my attention to my feet. And while I'm bringing my attention to my feet, I am also visualizing, as most of you probably know with grounding techniques, I'm visualizing these really strong branches coming out of my feet, connecting, with the earth, connecting with Mother Earth. And sometimes what can happen is my thoughts will wander, but I will bring my focus back to my feet, bring my awareness back to my feet. And I allow myself to be in that place as long as I feel I need to. And I find it to be a very calming technique as well. But there are other grounding techniques. There are meditation videos that you can use. There are things like walking, but I feel something like this is it would be helpful as well. So I would suggest to you to do some grounding technique, but also introduce, some kind of grounding technique into your day-to-day regularly as well. The other thing that I'm just being shown is actually touching soil. I'm shown with your hands, so someone actually putting their hands in a plant pot and touching the soil. That's an amazing way to ground as well. But this could be sort of barefooted, walking on grass or the ground as well. So that might be another technique that works for you. But whatever works for you, I am going to suggest that is something that you engage with and introduce. Whether it's something that are feeling quite triggered or not. Grounding techniques are always really, really helpful with bringing balance as well. So that's something that I will suggest that you guys engage with. you know, after this video, or sort of going forward in your journey as well. Right, my loves, that is the guidance for you guys this week. I'm going to return with another YouTube video over the next few days. I'm not sure what on at the moment, if I'm honest with you. There will be another relationship one coming out, but at the same time there's going to be another guidance one. I don't know on what. It's different to how I've done today, but whenever I post that, I'll let you guys know. Right, my lovelies, I will connect with you guys all again very soon.